I'm going to show you how to take the 4 photos I have here, convert them into JPEGs that are 1800 pixels on the long side, and export them to the desktop, and then I'm going to upload them to Google albums, Google photo albums for our classroom critique. All right, so here we go. I've got a collection. Notice that it's a collection. I've got it here called Assignment 2 Critique. Got 4 photos in it. I'm going to make sure I select all 4 photos, and I'm going to do that by holding down the Command key, or the Shift key, clicking on the first one, clicking on the last one, Shift key held down. They're all 4 selected. Then I'm going to go to File, Export. This is where I can do it. I could also do it from just right-clicking on any of these or control-clicking, and it also could go to File, Export. Gets you the same place. So here we go. Just like I said, File, Export. I'm going to get this window, and I'm going to go through the window. So where do I export them to? My hard drive. And then I'm going to export them to the desktop, and I'm going to call it, put them in a subfolder. Here's my subfolder, and I've called my subfolder Assignment 2 Critique Images. And let me see what happens here. Okay, Assignment 2 Images. Okay, so let me keep pulling that up. Let me see. So I'm going to rename them, and I'm going to rename them with my name and a sequence, which means the name that I want to have them on, and the sequence will start with number 1. So the way I do that is I can choose here which of these I want. So I want custom name and sequence. That's the one I've chosen. And then I'll enter my name like that. I've got Smith entered. I'm going to name him this way, Michael Smith, just to so it comes up different. Michael Smith, and they'll start with 1. I'm going to change this critique. There it is. Assignment 2 Critique. That'll work. Michael Smith, start with number 1. Now, you don't need a video setting. Here in the file settings, we want JPEG. So it doesn't matter what they were, whether they're RAW or PSD or TIFF files. We're going to change them to a JPEG. Then we're going to put them at a quality of about 70. That'll be fine. The color space that we want is we have these choices. I don't want Adobe RGB or ProPhoto. I want sRGB because we're going to show them on the web. All right. Then I've clicked the resize box. There are several choices here. I could do width and height, and I could control that. I could do the dimensions. Short edge, megapixels. I'm choosing the long edge, and I'm choosing here 1800 pixels on the long side. Because this is for the web, this number doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's 300, 240, 100. What matters is this number and the ultimate number of pixels that are left. So I'm going to choose my sharpen. I can choose sharpen for the screen, or matte paper, or glossy paper. If I were exporting to print or to send to a print house, like White House Custom Color, and I was going to print on glossy paper, I might choose sharpen for glossy paper, or matte paper if that were my choice, or screen. I'm going to do screen because we're going to see them on the internet. And I'm going to have them sharpen a standard amount. Let's see what happens. Metadata, I don't care about that in this case, but I could remove personal information. I could do that. I could just even have just any pieces of the metadata that I have. I have copyright. That's pretty much all it'll be, I think. We don't need a watermark in this case. And there's a post-processing thing here. That's the last box that people often forget. There's lots of choices. After export, I could do nothing. I could open it in Photoshop. I could open in another application, or I could go to the Export Actions folder, which is a different folder, or I can just do nothing, or I'm going to show in Finder. I always choose Show in Finder because I want to do something with the photos after I export them. So I've got that all set. I'm going to go back there and I'm going to click Export. And in just a moment, doesn't take long, it just goes zip, zip, boom, boom, there it is. And then it opened on the desktop for me this folder called Assignment to Critique, which is what I named it. My images are named, JPEG 1 and aside. Let's open one of these. If I double click on it on my machine, it should open in Preview. There it is. And let's look at the tools. Let's look at Show Inspector, and that'll show us the size. And look what it says. The long edge, which is the height, is 1800 pixels. Right, so it did just what we wanted. It renamed it, it made it a JPEG, and the color profile is sRGB. Very nice. Let's back that out. So I'll close that and close that. Now I need to put these onto my into the Google Photos album. So let's take a look at here. I don't want that. Where am I? I'm on this page. So this is our class web page for a day. I'm going to my tabs because I want to go to my Google Drive. So here's my Google Drive. And how do I get to Google Photos from my Google Drive? Well, if we see the little matrix that we have up here, and click on that, one of the choices will be Photos. Click on Photos. These are the photos that I have. I made this one for our critique. You might find it in when you go to Google Photos, you might find it under Sharing. You might find it under Sharing, or you need to click on the link. We'll see. So here it is. There's the Google Drive. This is just the album. That's the image. No, it's, albums. I need to be shown in albums. There we go. And albums, and I'm looking for the one that I made for this assignment. And I don't see it, and I don't see it because it's not there. It's under Shared Albums. Click on the Sharing button, and there it is, Assignment to Critique folder. There it is. I already put some in before, so I'm going to do it again. So here's Assignment to Critique folder. Other people have added some images. Excellent. I'm going to add mine again. So I'm clicking on, is it the plus? Add to album. So I'm up here in the corner, clicking on the Add to Album button. And if I back off a little, it says, oh, where'd it go? Add to album, there it is, select from computer. So on my computer, I should be able to find select from computer. Too many spaces, sorry, jumping around. Assignment to Critique is right on the top of my desktop. I'll open that. I'll select all 4 of those by shift clicking and click open, and they will get added to, here we go. So they get added to the album. So now they're in there twice. I'll remove them in a minute. Now, how do you work on these? I'd like you to pick the one that you think that's the original by clicking on it. When you click on it, you get to a sidebar that will allow you to add comments. So I'm going to add a comment to this picture. I'm going to say this is the original. Here, that'll add that comment. I'll move to another picture. And I was just saying, I wanted to say what I tried here. I wanted to make it more dramatic more dramatic, and I thought black and white, and black and white immediately makes it so. It also makes the color less distracting. Did it work? Okay. And then I post that. This is a variation. All right, so I want to work through my pieces. And there, this is one I tried with textured background as well. And I masked out the texture on the horse. If you'd like to see that, ask me and I'll make you a video on how to do that. Okay, that's how I would do that from Lightroom. What did we do? We started in Lightroom. We made a collection. I made a collection of the 4 images that I wanted to upload. I went to File, Export. And this is all set up, export to the desktop, assignment to critique. And one of the things you can do, if you want, if you think you're going to do that again, you might, if I click here, no, it must be here. I'm going to click to make a preset for myself, and this is upload for Google Photos. And click create, and you see it's added it to my presets list, user presets list here, so that I can do it again. Whenever I come here, I don't have to set it up again. I can use the preset. Okay, and I think then we exported, we made the settings that we wanted, JPEG and sRGB, the right size. I checked the last box, it says show in Finder, so it would open automatically. And when I exported the image, they went to the desktop. Okay, and that's that.